institutions in the UK, Ireland, Australia, Canada, and as well as the US. I'm here today to talk about benefits of studying in the UK. Let me share my screen quickly. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, please. Can.
Okay, so we'll be talking about benefits of studying in the UK. We have, at the moment, we have 14 partner universities in the UK. And to make it easy, I have separated them into those who have April and May start and those who have September start. Our partners are Loughborough, University of Brighton, Dundee, Aston, Coventry, Edgehill, Nottingham Trent, Roehampton, Liverpool, Northeastern University, London, Falmouth University. We also have University of Reading, University of Kent, and University of Creative Arts. So you can send in your applications to these 14 universities that we partner with in the UK. So why the UK? The United Kingdom is incredibly diverse, and there is something for everyone in the UK. And I would be listing some reasons why we should study in the UK. One, the UK is the home of English. Generally, the language spoken in the UK is English language, and the UK offers more English language than anywhere else in the world. English is the world's first language, and it is used to maintain and develop relationship and to develop cultural link. Another reason why UK is because it's a vibrant city, it's a vibrant country. The United Kingdom attracts people from all over the world with its mix of variety countries, cities, and rich history. Also, because of multicultural reason, the UK is home to millions of people from all over the world. It is friendly and a welcoming place for people of all countries. I'm sure we know that we have many Nigerians and African students who are studying presently in the UK and in various universities. Another reason why why the UK is because of the weather. The weather is a bit predictable, and it's not always as cold as we see in Canada and US and the like. It has 4 seasons, which can be winter, spring, summer, and autumn. And each season brings its own uniqueness. Another reason why you should choose the UK is because it gives you the opportunity to discover Europe. Students can easily and inexpensively travel to other European countries for either your education or for pleasure as well. Another reason why UK, and this is one of the main important factor, is the living cost. I know a lot of people would say, oh, UK is so expensive. But when you compare it to other countries like US and Australia or Canada, where you have to go for 2 years postgraduate, I think a 1-year option, because UK gives a shorter option for you, is less expensive. And also, for undergraduate programs, you can go for 3 or 4 years. So the cost is actually less expensive if you look at it than other countries. What are the benefits of studying in the UK? One, studying in the UK, we all know that the UK certificate is generally accepted worldwide, and it's a very respected certificate. Studying in the UK is a lifelong investment. It's also a world-class education with globally respected qualification in their chosen academic discipline. It also has excellent teaching facilities, meeting strict quality standards set by the UK government. Benefits of also studying in the UK is the UK is also at the forefront of scientific and creative innovation. Students also benefit by learning alongside some of the world top intellectual achievers. It also opened doors to career dreams and aspiration. it's a great value for money. And in terms of career opportunities, the employability rate is also really high in the UK. And now, thankfully, they have introduced the 2-year post-work visa. So yes, once you are done with school, you don't necessarily have to come back home. All you need to do is to get an employer who is going to employ you, and yes, you can legally stay in the UK. And also you need someone who will be ready to sponsor your visa as well, so you can legally stay in the UK. For the universities we partner with, I'm not going to go into a long detail. What they require mostly is they accept our WAEC result or NECO. And usually what they would want is a subject that you have grades C6 or higher in them. And some universities require English language test, i.e. IELTS, PTE, language cert, or Duolingo. So you can, for those who would not accept your WAEC or NECO, you would have to write either of the English language test, or you can pick the university's English test to write if that is available. For postgraduate programs, both the degree certificate and transcripts are required from an accredited university in Nigeria. Like, for example, we all know what is going on in Benin Republic now. Their certificates are no longer accepted for direct masters in the UK. So if you want to study there now, it has to be, you have to come through the pre-masters program before you can do your 1-year master's degree. So yes, your certificates must be from an accredited university here in Nigeria or wherever it is you have studied from. And also, one of the things that the university you want to apply to requires is a detailed personal statement, giving them the reasons why you want to study in the UK, of what benefit is it going to be for you, and when you come back to your home country, what you would likely use the program or the course you want to study to do. Another factor I would like to talk about is the tuition and scholarships available for the institutions that we partner with. The tuition fee for our partner university ranges from £15,000 to £25,000, and this depends on the course or the program. And also there are scholarships that are available to African students, which is from £1,000 to £4,000, depending on the university. There are actually some universities that give higher scholarship based on a certain program or a certain degree or something. For example, like Aston University, they have a £7,500 scholarship specifically for women in engineering. And they also have other scholarships as well. So yes, if you're going to be applying to any of the partner universities, you can check out their website to know more about the scholarships that are available for African students. To end it all, I would urge you, UK is a beautiful place to study in. And yes, UK gives you some sort of fulfillment in terms of your career, your aspiration and goal. And also, employability rate is also really high in the UK. So I would like to take questions from the audience now. If you would like to know what you would like to know about the UK, what you would like to know about studying there. You can either use the chat box or unmute your mic if you prefer that.
Connect. Yes. Okay, we have a representative here that is physical, so you want to ask a question.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, my name is Francis. I would like to know the duration for a graduate. Does it have any duration when you can apply for a master's program into any of the schools? Maybe
Okay.
after 10 years, 7 years, 15 years, you can still use the same certificate. I would like to know.
Okay, so you mean if you have done your bachelor's degree here in
I've done
Nigeria?
the degree program in Nigeria.
Okay, so it
Does
depends
have a
actually.
time frame?
Yes, it depends actually, because some universities now have said, okay, so let's start from your WAEC and NECO results. Some universities now have said if after 5 years, they are not going to accept the WAEC and NECO, which means you have
Sorry,
to
can
write.
you come again, please?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I said, let's start from your WAEC and NECO results. There are some of our partner universities that have said, if your results, either WAEC or NECO, is older than 5 years, they are not going to accept it. So you have to write an English test. While some will still accept that result if it is as old as 10 years old, and you don't need to write an English test. All you need to give them is either your WAEC results that you have a C6 or higher in English language and other subjects. But for your bachelor's degree, you can apply to any school. The only problem would be that you need to write a very strong personal statement stating why after 20 years or after 15 years, you want to go back to school. Yes, education continues, no doubt, but nowadays, the Home Office knows that, okay, yes, people are trying to, as much as possible, to leave their country and all of that. So universities are now being strict on their requirements now. So if your results are as old as 20 years old, that doesn't mean they are not going to give you the offer, but they want to see reasons why you actually want to come to their university and why you want to come to their country to study. But it doesn't matter how old your result is. It's just the WAEC and NECO that has a time frame.
So if you're saying that, can I do that?
I can't hear you.
So you're saying irrespective of the time frame, that one can still apply?
Yes, irrespective of the time frame, you can still apply. And the only thing I would advise you to do is to apply for a course where you have work experience in.
Right.
So it will be easier for you to transition. Yes, apply for a course where you have work experience in. So they see, oh, okay, you've had 5-10 years working as this, and you just want to broaden or further broaden your knowledge on the particular job you're doing.
Okay, we have a question from the attendees online.
Okay.
Ruth. Her name is Ruth. She's saying that she has a bachelor education in accounting. She has bachelor education in accounting, but she would like to pursue a master's in accounting.
Okay.
But in Nigeria, she has to do the PGD program before converting to MSc in accounting.
Okay.
I think she said, is it possible to?
Is postgraduate diploma program also applicable in the UK? Yes, it's applicable. And it actually depends on the university. 60% certain that she could get a direct master's, but it depends on the university and the kind of requirements they are looking for. And if she has work experience and qualifications or certifications in accounting, yes.
Okay, Ruth, I think if you heard that, I'll be fine. Then somebody named Moneyman is asking why are January intakes limited for UK schools?
Okay, so UK universities, even colleges, are not really big on January intake. So January is usually more like, okay, so for students who did not meet September, maybe for certain issues like visa delay or medical delay, but it's not a big thing in the UK. September usually is the main intake for universities. And some universities also have April and May intake as well, but they don't run all courses then. So if you want to apply, I would advise you target September. This gives you enough time to have gathered all the documents that you need, take all the necessary tests if you have to, done your medicals, and also your bank statement is ready. January is also a good option, but you have to check on the university website to be sure that they offer the course you want for January.
Thank you, Damilola, for the wonderful presentation and the questions will be answered. We are waiting for more questions from our participants, those here and online. So if you have any question, you can please drop on the chat or unmute yourself and ask your question directly, please.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask, supposing I have a degree in creative arts. Are you with me?
You have a degree in what?
In creative arts.
Okay.
Okay, and I happen to have had a work experience of say 10, 15 years outside the creative arts, say marketing, media, and what have you. And now I want to go back to school. What are my chances?
So you have a degree in creative arts,
Yes.
but you haven't really used it for anything. You
Yes.
have gone into another field, which is marketing.
Media.
Yes, your chances are high of getting MSc in marketing and media and all that. Yes, because you have work experience in it.
That's what I want. So it has nothing to do with the number of years.
What did you say?
I say it has nothing to do with the number of years.
No, it has nothing to do with the number of years. You already have work experience, which is what matters the most. And you just want to go and broaden your knowledge in the same line. So yes, your chances are good.
Okay. All right. I think there's no questions from our participant here. If you give us a close remark before you leave, I am made to understand that you have a meeting for 12:30, and this is almost 12. So maybe if you could give us a closing remark before Mr. Isaac will take over from you.
All right. Thank you all for joining this brief session. If you'd like to apply to any of the countries as mentioned earlier, you can use Community Trust Network. They are our trusted partner. And yes, they would be sure to deliver a good job for you. So or whatever questions you have or concerns or whatever it is, make sure you contact them. They are going to fix you in the right place. All you need to do is to have the right documentation and be as open to them as you can be. And voila, you are in the UK. So I look forward to welcoming you guys to the UK by September. I look forward to actually seeing a lot of you, and we are here to support your application process as much as possible. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you. So before you leave, please, there's a question from Ruth saying if she has if there's a university that will accept her studies with ICANN.
If there's a university for accounting.
Yes, that will accept with ICANN. She has an ICANN certificate, so if she can go to a university, I think maybe for masters or for undergraduate, if you can give a clarification. Okay, she's going for master.
Okay, so for MSc, we have universities like Brighton, they offer accounting. Roehampton also offers accounting. The only thing is we have to know specifically their requirements, what they require. If you have a ICANN certificate, yes, that's fine. If you have work experience in that, that's fine. So only thing to do is just to check their website, check with the university what they actually require. If they require her to do a pre-masters, then she would have to do a pre-masters. But if they do, after seeing all our documentation, including ICANN, because she's already done that already, they might give her a direct masters. But first, what we would need to do is to confirm from the university what they actually require. But Brighton, Roehampton, they have Coventry, they have masters in accounting.
That's fine. We have another person here who has a question live.
Okay.
Before we go back to Joseph Ejim, okay, who is asking about public health.
So is one of people that's present in permanent work, not for students.
I can't really hear you. I didn't hear
I'm
that.
Jeremiah Otia.
Okay, hi Jeremiah, I can hear you now.
Yes. I say what of people that coming there to work, coming to UK to work.
Okay, so you would have to discuss that with the agents. What we strictly do is education, study.
Okay.
Yes, so you have to discuss that with the agent, and then they will give you a guideline on how to go about it.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. So if you could check back to the question from Joseph Ejim, who is asking about public health and how long for doctors.
Okay, so public health is usually 1 year, as far as I know. Okay. UK is 1 year.
Okay, and doctors can go for it?
Yes, they can actually go for it. It's in your line of field, so yes, public health is a good thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tamila. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So as we are waiting for Mr. Isaac to take off from Damilola, if you still have any of your questions, you can still let us know, and we are welcome to answer them. Just before it comes on, let me inform all of us that we presently have an office in Abuja, and we have office in Warri. We also have in Asaba. And before the end of the program, we'll be sharing our contact details to everyone so that you have our contact details. Of course, we can still message you via emails. through your registration link. We are located in number 1 Emibire Street, our layout in Warri. And here in Asaba is a 43 Old Anwai Road, just beside Alpha Hydrocarbon Filling Station. And in Abuja, of course, is in Gariki Area 8. And online Community Trust Network. At least the Google will do a very big work for us. Once you put Community Trust Network, you will see us live, or our address, and you follow the map, you can get to our office correctly. Mr. Isaac, if you're free now, you can take over from Damilola while she takes her leave from 12:30. Thank you again, Damilola.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hello, Damilola.
Hi, Mr. Isaac.
Just send you a text and just send you a chat message. If you can read it, and then send me an email, please.
Okay, I will do that. I will do that.
Can I increase my volume? Yes, it's muted. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming. And for those of you who were from the start, sorry for the delay in starting the program. Thank you, Damilola, for giving the first insight into this program and for the support that you've given to Community Trust Network so far. Okay, so we're going to start and just introduce myself. My name is Isaac Ukelege. And what I've done is to tag this as making a success of your student application. So making a success of your student application. And then I've come up with just a little thing to just say, if you are thinking about traveling, think about CTN. If you ever think about traveling, think about CTN. So let's go through. We're going to be talking about what you need to do to be successful in making your student application. I think for some of you, all of you will be hearing the name Community Trust Network, CTN. So who is CTN? And we define us as Community Trust Network, and that we are an education organization. We are based in the UK, and we have offices and operations in Nigeria and in Ghana. So in Nigeria, we have offices here in Asaba, where we are talking today, And then we are also in Abuja, as well as in Warri, and in Ghana, we are in Accra. So if you are based in any of those places and you want to meet with us, pick up our details, and I'm sure you will meet with one of our representatives. So what services do we provide for you? As an organization, we pride ourselves that we provide training in soft and employability skills. The question is, what is soft skills? What is employability skills? So let me just throw it out as a question. When I say soft skills, who can tell me what soft skills are all about? So that is open to people who are here with me or people on Zoom. What do I mean when I say soft skills? That's a question. I'm waiting for an answer. What do you mean by soft skills? Anyone to help us? Soft skills? Yeah, yes, you can have it done.
Suppose it's certain operational requirements that companies or organizations require for each employee. Those are certain required skills that you must have for you to be employable.
Yeah. That's correct. Thank you. So when we look at soft skills, we look at things that, and really schools don't teach you those sort of things. Schools don't teach you those soft skills. But soft skills are important for you if you want to be employed. So things like customer service, working as a team, using the use of computer. Those are things that will enable you to be employed as quickly as possible. In addition to the degree that you have. So CTN would help you to provide that. CTN also facilitates the opportunity for you to be registered and travel outside the shores of Africa as a student. So from the point of gaining your admission to the point where we process your visa and then meet you at your point of destination in any of the countries that you are going to, we are able to do that for you, isn't it? In addition to that, we do something about helping you to gain work experience. You would agree that much as it is important for you to get your degree, the work experience is what really counts when you need to look for a job. So if you don't have work experience, then you will struggle to get the job that you are looking for. And what we will do in any of the countries that you go to, we would help you, support you, so that you can gain some work experience during the course of your studies. We'll support you in securing accommodation so that you could settle down in your country of destination. Another thing that we are doing locally, so either in Nigeria or in Ghana, we are working with local universities and the National Youth Service in Nigeria to provide work experience and as well as employment opportunities for our university graduates. So these are some of the things that we provide as our services. And then we talk about the countries that we cover. So our main country is the United Kingdom or the UK. But in addition to the UK, we also process admissions and visa to the other countries. So Canada, the US, Ireland, and the Netherlands. Okay, so if you are interested in any of those countries, you can speak to us and we will ensure that we provide you with the support to gain admission to any of those countries. Some of the schools that we represent, of course, for those of you who listen to Damilola, she has a longer list of schools. So in addition to some of the schools that she mentioned, There are other schools that we mentioned that are not under the platform of Educo. So for example, the Ulster University, Birmingham and London campus, Northumbria University, Newcastle and London campus, the Bradford University, the Montfort University in Leicester. We represent all of those universities, in addition to Swansea University and Robert Gordon University. Robert Gordon University is in Scotland, Swansea University is in Wales. Although all of them form part of the United Kingdom, they also refer to them as different countries. So why do you need to choose CTN? Why do you think it's of all agents? Of course, we are not the only agent that provide the services of supporting you to gain admission outside the shores of Africa. So if you're thinking about working with an agent, why do you need to choose us? And I've just brought in just 2 pictures to show you, because one of them tells you when we won an award for being a good agent or to those universities. So we provide exceptional good customer service. Our student counselors, they are experienced and qualified, and they will be able to support you through the journey of identifying the course that you want, identifying university and the country that you could go to. Of course, for us to win an award, that means that you could trust that we have vast knowledge of the industry. We have vast knowledge of the industry, both here in Africa, but also outside Africa. Our connection and knowledge of the industry could help us. So that so far, since 2 years of our inception, we have had 100% visa success rate. And that's a huge thing to achieve. Of course, given the fact that you are going to be moving away from your country of origin to a different country, there are the possibility of teething issues or teething problems happening. And one of the things that you could be sure of is that if any of those things happen, we will be there to support you. Because we have staff in the UK, those staff, so if you do come to the UK, those staff are on hand to provide you with the support. But of course, in other countries, we have connections in those countries, that any issues that you have, I'm sure we'll be able to come to your aid. If you're thinking about studying and thinking about going for some of the documents that we'll require from you are, we will need the data page of your international passport. We'll need your certificate, so your secondary school and your tertiary institution certificate if you are going for your master's. We'll need a CV from you, and ideally a detailed CV. But even if it's not as detailed enough, if you bring it to all, our experienced and qualified student counselors will be able to provide you with the support that you need. We need an official transcript, and I'm sure you know the difference between a student copy of a transcript and an official transcript. We will need the official transcript. We will need references from you, and finally, we will need a personal statement from you. If you don't know what a personal statement looks like, if you speak to one of our staff, they will be able to provide you with a copy of or a sample of what a personal statement should look like so that you could write yours. At this point, what I want to do is ask one of our student counselors to just briefly speak to us about what they do.
Ezekiel, are you there?
So let's get this. So let's get Ezekiel. Ezekiel is one of our student counselors based in Abuja's office. So let's get him to speak to you about some of the things that he does for his job.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Asawa. Thank you guys for being there today. Fortunately, that is my place. I would have been there, but someone has to be in the office. I'm talking to you from the Abuja office. As a student counselor, what I do is first, I request for your documents. Ask what level of education do you want to achieve. Is it undergraduate or postgraduate? If it is undergraduate, just the list here. You need data page of international passport, need your certificate, which is WAEC or NECO result. Some schools will require at least a in WAEC to go for your English proficiency, but a B3, so you need to take note of that. Then even if you are going for your first degree, SS1 to SS3, and to know how to place your reference letter. And so many people will be asking, what is reference letter? Who do I get the reference letter from? You get the reference letter from your school. And in some places, if you are working from your employer on a letterhead paper recommending you for the study, attesting that yes, you can go for your further studies and you can achieve your aim and goals in life. Then you need a personal statement. Personal statement, that is where you need to put much energy, because many schools will look into that critically. You need to state, why do you want to study in your choosing country? Is it UK or US? Why did you choose you want to study? What would the course you choose to study do for you? And what will you stand to benefit after studying those courses? Very important. And even if you are when you are returning back to your country, you have a place in mind to work, you can state it in that personal statement. Very, very important. And of course, the city where the school want to study is. Do you have knowledge about the city? Include it in that personal statement. They are very key, and they will help us to help you achieve the application turnaround time. Sometimes some schools take longer time, while some are very fast. Some can be as fast as within 5 days of case, because some persons will come and say, how long will it take school to return back to? If you have not provided all the documents that is needed, certainly they will not return back to you on time as you expect. So we are here at Community Trust Network to help you achieve all of this seamless. Wherever you have difficulties, you talk to us. We know how to direct you and guide you on getting them. Like the CV, when Mr. Isaac was talking, he talked about CV, even if it's not a detailed CV, can guide you through to have a CV that are acceptable by those universities. Thank you so much for being there today, and we'll be love to welcome you to any of our partner universities come September and January next year. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ezekiel. Even though I put you on the spot, I know you are able to rise to the challenge. So thank you, sir, for doing it so well. So that, again, like I talked about, our student counselors are good at what they do. They are experienced, they are knowledgeable, and they will be able to prepare you for the admission as well as the precast interview if it is required. Of course, there was a question that Damilola almost answered when she talked about why the UK, or why do you need to really travel outside the shores of Africa? And you would agree with me that yes, even though it is expensive to travel to go and school outside Africa, then look at those pictures. The environment that you will be learning is very conducive. So if you are looking for a conducive learning environment, then travel. Also, if you are looking for an environment where once you graduate, then you will get what they call the white collar job those days. And we were looking forward to it when we were young, then go for it. Because when you study outside here, what you would agree is that you will get a world-class certificate. A world-class certificate, you will also experience diverse culture. So you will meet people from all different parts of the world. And with that is education on its own, because you will then learn how to interact with different people, how to ensure that if you get a job in an international organization, you will know how to behave. For example, I'll tell you something. One of the funny things that we do have in our office in the UK is that some of us do not drink tea. But you know, making tea or drinking coffee in the morning is a soft skill that you have to learn. If you don't drink tea in the morning, possibly your manager will not be very happy with you. So that's a cultural thing that you need to learn, isn't it? They like to drink tea a lot. If you go to the US, they drink coffee, and some of them will take the cold coffee. Again, traveling to those countries would enable you to learn those cultures, and then you put it into practice when you are working with them. So it gives you a global exposure as well as a conducive environment of learning. It gives you world-class work experience in world-leading organization. Imagine yourself working in a company like Facebook, Microsoft, Google, for example. It is not impossible for you to work in those organizations, but for you to work in those organizations, you have to be one of the best. And for you to be one of the best, it then means that your certificate needs to also come from one of the best schools in the world. Financial implication, for some of you, you might be thinking that this is really out of reach. I don't have enough money to go to study outside. Let me just ask you, how much do you think is the minimum amount of money that you need to spend for you to be able to travel? That's a question to people, either those who are here or those on Zoom. How much do you think is the minimum amount of money that if you have that money, you will be able to travel? Who can tell me? Like 50 million. Thank you, Faith. Okay. Yeah, somebody just said about 50 million. Okay. Yes, sir. 5 to 6 million. Yes. Anybody, any other person? Those on Zoom. 2 people here have answered. Is anybody on Zoom going to try? How much minimum do you think if you have, you can travel outside here? Okay, really, by the time you get, yes, most school fees would be around the 10, 11, 12,000 pounds. But you do not need all of those money for you to be able to travel. So what schools normally do, they will say you need to pay a deposit. And depending on the school that you go for, you could pay a deposit between 2,500 to 7,000. And that could be either in the Canadian dollars, in the US dollars, or in the pounds sterling. Between, say, 3,000 and 7,000 pounds. So if you look at that figure, so let's assume that you are paying 4,000. And if it's 4,000, that means that if I translate, especially the pound, let's say we go by 1 to and that's, let's say that's 4 million. The proof of fund is the money that needs to be in your bank account. For many these days, you don't really need to have all of that money because there are people who can put that money in your account and they will charge you an interest for it. So again, by the time you spend another 1 million, you would have done that. And then your visa fee and the flight ticket. So really, by the time you get about 6 million or thereabout, you are almost on your way to traveling outside here. And then when you get there, you can gradually pay the rest of your fees. So if you are thinking that you need to have 200 million, 20 million, 30 million to be able to travel, that is not necessarily correct. Okay? You can travel with less than that. Okay, what are the routes? What? Going outside the shores of Africa to study, you do not need to necessarily be a graduate for you to do it. There are different ways or different levels that you can go in. So the lowest level, I would say, is some people can even send their children for secondary school education. You could start from secondary school. For those who finish their secondary school, they can go there for what we call the pathway. And the pathway is usually, or a foundation, is usually a 1-year program. And then you start your first degree or your bachelor degree. If you already have your bachelor degree, then you could go straight to your master's. If you have a HND, then you might do what we call the pre-master's course. Or even if you have a third class, for some people who have a third class, they will not be able to go straight for their master's, but they can do what we call the pre-master's. And then eventually they will start their master's program. So it is flexible. There are different ways that you'll be able to achieve it. So don't think that it is not within your reach if you do want to go outside here to study. Life as an international student. So if you do come to the UK, just like I put the picture there, of course, there are different. One of the things I would encourage you to do, if you are thinking about going to study in any of those countries, please read about that country that you are going to. The more information you have about the country, the better it will be for you. So they tell you that the country, of course, most Western countries are cold. So it is important that you understand that the temperature you will be facing there is slightly different from the temperature that you have here in Nigeria, which also means that your dressing will be different. So for those of you who want to go and travel, or if you do get a visa to travel, I would encourage you, don't take so many, don't take clothes at all. Any clothes that you have here, please give it to your relatives because you will not need them. Okay, if you just take only one, so for the men, just take one t-shirt and your trousers and one shoe. For the women, again, the same, because you'll find out once you go there, all of the clothes that you buy here, even if you go and buy them in the designer shop, they probably might not be conducive for the environment there. And again, when you go there, they have cheap shops. So some of the things that you buy quite expensive here, you might find them a bit cheaper when you go there. Okay, so don't go shopping to buy clothes because you want to impress people. No, just go to your normal clothes. And you know what? You will find out one person will wear one jeans for 1 week. They are not changing it. They're probably just. So please, it's not about clothes. Don't wear clothes. Again, what about food? Yes, you can take food. You can take gari. You can take yam. You can take your meat, your fish. But you know what? All of those things you can buy them there as well. Okay. I do remember there was one time when one of my cousins came over and the wife gave him some smoked fish and dry gari to say, if you go there, you can sow gari because you will not be able to eat. But you know what? When he came, the first food we gave to him was swallow. and he couldn't believe that they swallow in the UK. But it is there. In any of those countries, you can swallow. Okay, almost every food that you eat here in Nigeria is also available there. The only thing that you probably don't get there is your lovely hot weather. It is not there. Okay? If you do come to the UK, in most cases, just like that picture is showing, I will meet you in the UK and I will take you to one of the restaurants in the UK to welcome you. So for every of our students who come to the UK, it's something that we do as Community Trust Network, where I will meet with you and drink and dine with you. But also, think about it, that you are going to be in a class of different color, different shapes of people. So it's a whole different environment. But not just the fact of the different color and shapes of people, is that the equipment you will see in the environment will throw you off balance. I could tell you that almost everything that you do there is based on your computer. So if you're thinking about bringing a pen and a notebook to write, you'll be surprised that we don't do those things. Okay, you have to learn to use your computer in doing it. Okay, the life as an international student is fantastic, it's good. It would give you a lot of knowledge. What are some of the hard courses that you need to study? Again, I'll put a table of some of those courses that you study. Okay. It tells you the percentage of people who get employed once they complete those courses. Usually, the statistics is that within 6 months of the completion of their course, they would get employment. But even if you do not, even if your course do not fall into any of these, that doesn't mean that you will not be employed. One thing is that you would find is that most of these Western countries, they're actually looking for people. They are looking for people. They are looking for people to employ, which is why right now in Nigeria or in Africa, most part, a lot of people are going for care work or the caregiver work because there are no people to work as care workers there. Okay. They're also looking for teachers in the UK. But really, for those of you who can afford studies, then I wouldn't say you go for care work, is it? Because care work is a glorified houseboy and housegirl job. And I think you can do much better than that if you have the means to. Finally, I think about PhotoSpeaks. What I've done is just to bring some pictures to you. I mean, I think what I've done is to showcase to you to say, if you are thinking about working with any agent, you can trust us. You can trust the fact that we don't only have knowledge of here in Nigeria, but we have knowledge of the Western world. We would deal with your school directly. We will work with you so that you can get success out of it. Thank you. And I think I put our contact details there. I put our contact details. If you need to speak to any of us, go to our website and I'm sure you can get more information about us. Any questions, please? Any questions, please?
Therefore, so as we are waiting for questions from you all, suggest Mr. Isaac, if you can bring back the slide for your contact details for those who want to contact us directly while we wait for their questions, please. If those who are here online, if you if you have any question, you do well to ask your question. So the contact details, you take it. Okay. Okay, you can come. You can ask your question. You can ask your question. Yes. Peter. Peter.
So your children can study, can go there with you. So what tends to happen is that if the father or the mother gets admission as a student, then the spouse, so let's assume that it is the father who is the student. Once the father gets the admission, the wife becomes a dependent on the father or the husband. And then the children also become dependent on the father who is the student. As long as the children are not above 17 years old. Once they hit 17, they cannot be dependent on you anymore because it is considered that at that age, they are adults. But if they are less than 17, then they can come with you as dependent. And the good thing about it is that when they come with you as dependent, they will get free medical services, they will get free education. So the primary school and the secondary school is free for them.
Children within and outside this range.
So we can really talk about the ones who are within the range. Anyone that is outside the range doesn't fall in it. Yes, it doesn't fall in. Yeah. So if you need that one to go there, that one would have to travel on their own, right. But anyone, so even though, so let's say you have 2 children or 3 children, and one is outside, but the other 2 are within the range. So you have to take those 2 with you. And then this one, you can either leave him or her behind or find a school or something for that one to come separately.
Now, following up on the now, if have a student with us, that's what it is. And I don't know what's the case. Then you have your dependent in you, and within that year, well, when you're done with the education, possibly have to come back. That's 2 years. And already they are with you for that 2 years. So what happens in that space of time? Because maybe it's something that you have dependents just within that age range, and you went with them, and your visa is for 3 years. After 3 years, you have to come back. So what now happens?
So if so the simple answer to that is that, remember, their visa is dependent on you. So once you are coming back, they will have to come back.
Even though they are now of age.
No, so yeah, even though, because the only way for them to change it, if they are of age, they will have to apply on their own rights. But as long as they are dependent on you, once you are coming back, they would have to come back with you.
Provide generally, their supposed standard academic background that you are using for taking them along is now obstructed.
Yeah. So again, what that happened, even though it is not promoted, is that what then happened is that you stay behind if you want them to complete their education there. But you see, one of the things I must also tell you, again, I know that really most of us, the idea is that we want to go there and stay. And we're only using the route as a route to go there, as a means to an end. But don't also forget something, that even if you decide to come back, the 1 year, the 2 years that that child stays there is knowledge to them. Okay. And the reason why most of us stay there is because of better life. But you know, if you get a good job, there's actually better life here in Africa. It is based on what you do. There are some people who live here and they will never travel abroad. And we have also seen students who go abroad and at the end of their education, they go back. So it's not everybody who really want to stay in the Western world. It's not everybody. Some people will just go there for their education, and at the end of their education, they go back to their country. Okay.
This other to my earlier question.
Okay.
That we seem not to have addressed. What if the children now who are, let's say, dependent, maybe they just finished secondary school or they are in their first year in a tertiary institution. Now the parents want them to study abroad. The parents are not quite comfortable having them over there without their support. Okay. And the parents now want to travel along with the kids. The children are now, I mean, they are studying whatever. Will it work for both them and their parents, or will the parents equally need to process their study visas or whatever to be involved in arrangements like that?
Okay, I didn't really get, but let's just to say something. Okay, so children can depend on parents. Parents cannot depend on children. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So if, for example, you have finished your education and then maybe it's not time for the children to be, and then you depend on the children, you cannot depend on your children. But the children can always depend on you. Yes. Okay, so what happens is that there are loads of ways. Okay, again, let me pull it back. The education is the first thing. Okay. And yes, much as, I mean, I'm not against people staying behind there. I'm not against it. I stay behind there and I'm there. Okay. Although I come to Nigeria very often. But what the point I want to try and make to you is that don't just live here on the basis of, I just want to go and stay there. Okay? Don't just live here with that one. Live here with one thing, to say, let me get that quality education that that country offers. And when I get that education, I can either stay there or I could go to any country that I get a job that I'm looking for. Do you understand? Because like I said, because if you are so focused on just going there, then you probably might not pay attention to your school. But if you pay attention to your school, what might happen is that the school can even ask you to stay behind because they want you to be one of their academic staff, to be a lecturer in the school. But you know you need to be good. Just as you might get a job with any organization, and because they see that you are good, the value that you bring into it, they would price you based on that value, and people will look for you. I don't know if whether any of you have listened to, there's a motivational speaker called Jim Rohn. Has anybody listened to him? Here's what he always says, that what is your value in the marketplace? And people pay you for the value. Yeah? So you will find, like any of us here or any of us in the world, some people earn, if you look at their salary, okay, here you could get salary per month. Most Western world, they pay either per hour, even some pay per month, but you can break it down to per hour. And some people, they will get 10 naira per hour. Some people get 1,000 naira per hour. What is the difference? It's the value. You understand? And the value is usually your skills, your knowledge. It's your skills, your knowledge. If I tell you how much a plumber charges in the UK per hour, do you know? Okay, in the UK, if you call a plumber to come and look at that's this house, if your toilet is leaking and you call a plumber, he will charge you a call-out fee of £50 minimum. So just come and look at it. Yes. Without even touching anything. And some people will say, okay, I will charge you that consultation plus the first 30 minutes of my time. Once it goes past that, then I'll not start charging you per hour. If you see how much a carpenter charges for their work, you won't believe it. But it's the value that they bring into the marketplace. Okay. So it's not to say, yeah, of course, I think what has happened, like in the UK, for example, what has happened is that at the end of your school, you have a 2-year post-study visa. So you can apply for a 2 years post-study. Some people are using that to stay behind. Some people are using other ways. So these days, especially, it's become very popular when they do what is called sponsorship. So the sponsorship is either to care or sponsorship to accounting, sponsorship to anything. But all I will always say is the value that you bring into the marketplace. Bring a good value and people would buy you. Any question?
I want to ask it.
Yeah, sorry. Good afternoon. If you speak up so that because of the fans, I can hear you. Okay, so when you say study options, what does that mean? So that I can.
What it says,
Yes.
services to the UK.
Okay, so I'm not sure. Okay, so let me. I think I did a presentation. I think probably because you were not here. Yeah, you were not here. So what we do is that we partner with different universities in those different countries. Okay, we partner with them so that we can recruit people from here who want to go and study in those countries. So if you come to me, for example, the first thing I will look at is that what is your, if you call me or you come to me, the first thing I will ask you is that, what is your highest qualification? So because if you have a secondary school qualification, then the thing I will be talking to you will be different from someone who has already has a HND or a bachelor degree. Yes, yeah. So that's, I will ask you that question. And once you tell me to say, I have secondary school, then I'll say, okay, we need to find out when did you finish your secondary school? What is your age? Because depending on when you finish secondary school, your age, they might not accept you. Okay. But if you are still within, so for example, if somebody is still within 25 years and they have only have their secondary school qualification, we can work with that sort of person. If, yes, we are specific. So again, if you come to us, like when I did my presentation, I think I showed some of the schools, but there are more. So if you look on the board, those are some of the schools that we work with, but we regularly have more. These are just some of them that we work with. So if you meet with any of our counselors, they would then break down different schools. I think somebody was asking me about which school do I choose? And I said there are different reasons for different schools. So we need to, because some of them, the deposit might be an issue. Imagine if you only have 3,000, there's no point telling you about a school that accepts 6,000 as their minimum deposit. Okay. If you want a school in the UK, for example, there's no need telling you about schools in Canada. If, for example, again, if it is the UK and they charge the living allowance or what the government has calculated as money that you need to have in your bank account for 1 year, London is 12,000. Outside London is 9,200. So if you have 12,000 and you want to live in London, which is a bubbling city, lively city, because that's the capital, then I would say stay in London. And I will tell you about schools in London. But if you don't have that, or for most people who are family with children and wife, they will say, no, they don't want to stay in London. Because of course, like, London is very busy. Okay. They'll say, we prefer to go and stay outside London. Again, I would then tell you about places outside London. Most people will say, I want a place where I could get a job. Everywhere in the UK, you can get a job. I can guarantee you that. You don't need to be everywhere there's a job. Okay. And sometimes, especially with the care job, it's probably easier to get them in the villages than in the cities. So it all depends on what you are looking for, and then we will advise you accordingly.
The recommendation is for
But of course, yeah. So we'll look at your budget and ready. But like I also tell people is that traveling outside is not cheap. Okay, I think there was a question when I asked about what is the minimum. So really, if you want to travel outside, if you don't have up to 6 million, then I would say don't even start it. Again, you are not going to give that 6 million straight to us, but you need to have, so within the period of when you come to us and when you are looking to travel, you need to have access to 6 million minimum. Because by the time you pay school, the deposit of the fees, by the time you pay for your proof of fund, by the time you now pay for your visa, all of those ones cost money. Okay, so if you don't have up to 6 million, if you don't have access to 6 million, then don't start it. Somebody called me the other day to say, I have 600,000. Can you? I just said, no, don't worry. Go to Denis Osadebe University. It's probably better. Sorry, but it's expensive. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, hopefully. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ma. That's our host. She's very kind to allow us to use her office. Thank you. We're really grateful. Benita is our rep here in Asaba. So I think I've shared the number. The number is on the screen, but we can give you our office number. So if you are really interested, Benita will take, I think, have you taken the attendance of everybody and their phone number? So Benita will take that. She will make contact with you. And then if you have any questions, speak to Benita, and I'm sure she would help you out. There's somebody who is almost ready to travel to the UK. But I don't know whether she would like me, or he or her would like me to talk about it, but if not, I will be quiet.
Fine, if you just
Sorry?
fine, you can just say something.
No, I don't want to put the person under the spot like that's what I just said. Except he or she says, yes, I can address us. No, I'm not ready.
There are two, of course. There are two, of course.
Okay, no. Okay, you can talk. Tell us about your experience about working with CTA. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Any questions, ask, speak to Benita. But I'm sure some of you have also spoken to Jude. Jude is the manager in Abuja. He looks after the Abuja office. Yeah, I'm sure it will help you out as well. Okay?
Thank you, also.
Thank you, everybody, both on Zoom. Thank you, and to people here. Thank you for your time.